Honestly, I never believed that I would come back to the asmo again. It's been well over 2 or 3 years since I've used it last time. The primary reason why I stopped using it are stabs. I really liked to use the asmo for solo PvP. It was one of my to-go solo PvP ships, but as stabs became mainstream, the asmo's performance diminished, and the Ashmo's fate was kind of sealed with implants. But I decided to buy this ship again, and I'll be using it for something less serious, for less serious targets. I'll be using this ship for targets that are 100% not stabbed, since if anything is stabbed, well, the Ashmo is not going to be effective against it. I'll be using one of my old builds for it. I mean, if it works, then I guess I don't have to change it. I'll be using beam lasers and pulse lasers depending on the target, but the overall build is going to stay about the same. Maybe I will buy a nanocore for it, maybe not. Maybe it's going to be one of my fun ships. I mean, my fun ships are usually very cheap and very easy to, to replace. So yeah, that's the old school Ashmo build that I used to run and that I will be using again. So I'm very excited to see this little ship make a comeback. I actually haven't touched the Ashmo for... I have to double check that, but I think it was over 3 years at this moment. Last time I used it was against a stabbed tornado, and after that I basically sold it. So yeah, it's been a while since I was actively flying this thing, so I'm kind of happy to be back in the good old Vampire. I'm still attached to the ship in one way or the other, so yeah, I'm very glad that I bought this ship again. But today we'll be doing some hybrid PvP. That means I'll be flying solo and I'll be in a fleet flying with friends, of course. But let's start now. I saw a tornado basically disappear in space on the scanner, and that made me curious. What happened over there? So I picked the cells and I fitted this thing to be able to fight tornadoes as tracking disruptors. Now it does have a clocking device because I think there is a gravitational rift. Yeah, there we go. A gravitational rift entrance, and something tells me it's a bad idea to go in, but I will go in nonetheless and see what's waiting for me at the other end. Could be a trap. Let's find out. I mean, I'm fairly fast. I have a clocking device, so I can just quickly go in and out if it ends up being a trap. So, what's waiting for me on the other end here? Oh, well, yeah, let's just go back. Nope.
We're under attack.
That's just 3 ships. Who knows how many other ships are nearby? I only saw the tornado go in, so there's 100% more ships nearby. So yeah, good thing this is a very fast ship, so I don't have to worry much about that. And if they do try to catch me here, well, that's not going to happen. I have a clocking device, so yeah. Alright, well, that was interesting. I really had to see what's inside. If the only ship inside was a tornado, I would probably engage, but yeah, there's a maelstrom and a vindicator, and they're probably snipers both, so yeah, not a smart idea to yeet at that. Let's go to the next target. We have something quite expensive on the menu today. Well, besides my cells, there is a Chameleon, and I actually thought to use something different, but I figured out the cells might be the way to go after all. Special ship versus special ship should be quite interesting.
Warp drive active.
And I am going in, approach 23, orbit 23. Chameleon usually isn't a big threat, but it is a very expensive ship, so I need to kill it before it can warp out. That's the goal, and that's why I took this thing. I would have taken autocannons, but I didn't really trust the warping. Well, my warpings are usually 50-50, so let's open fire. Barrage engaged. Well, I'm doing some good damage on the shield. Should have used the Guardian Disruptor, but I just
Enemy
couldn't
ships detected.
change the build, so tracking Disruptor it is. Okay, last bit of a gyro stabilizer action going on, and now they're on cooldown. I have the battery mode engaged, so that's more than enough. Still has very good rate of fire. And the Chameleon is now into low hull. There we go. Nice. Let's take a look at the wreck. And let's see if I got lucky. They also had
under
expansive
attack.
drones. And I was more excited about the drones than the kill, to be honest. The drones can drop some good loot and goodies, so always nice to get the drones there.
We're under attack.
Okay, that's... Oh, one drone dropped, perfect. I'll take it. And let's warp out. I also keep the
Warp
battle
drive
mode active at all times now because they have removed the penalty on speed. And now the Celos is always very fast. No longer... The speed reduction is no longer active with the battery mode, so you still go full speed with it. Okay, and my chat is, of course,
Warp drive
my
active.
chat is dead because that's what happens when my chat needs to work, my chat is not working. That's just always how it goes. Oh well, the Chameleon has been destroyed, and now let's take a look at what kill we got here. The value, that is 13.4 billion. That's a juicy one, and a cursed one. A small extender. Are you kidding me? Really, a small extender. And we have some missile rigs on a drone boat. Oh my, yeah, that's not good. That's a horrible build. But it's still a good kill though, so I'm not going to complain. Let's go to the next one.
Undocking.
We have a Blackbird cover tops. Now, why am I using a Celos on a Blackbird? Well, actually, the first thing I thought was
Warp
it was a
drive active.
bait Sino ship. So I just took something that can take care of it before the Sino opens. It wouldn't be the first time that a super capital has been dropped on my cruiser. It happened a lot recently. My cruisers are apparently very interesting for super capitals for some reason, which is kind of funny because they still fail to kill it. But yeah, there's the Blackbirds. Let's just open fire. No, they have been in the exploration side. And honestly, if this is a exploration Blackbird, it's the first one I've ever seen. And the Blackbird's been destroyed. Okay, let's take a look at the wreck. Was this a Sino or was this a exploration Blackbird? That's a question. Wouldn't be surprised if it was a exploration Blackbird, because after all, the Corvus cruisers are very decent for that purpose. Well, apparently it did look like this Blackbird was running exploration. Well, okay. That's the first one I've seen. That is definitely the first one that I've seen. Let's take a look at the builds. Yeah, it looks like a alpha clone exploration Blackbird. I actually do like this build. It looks interesting. It looks definitely interesting. I like it. Okay, well, let's go to the next target.
Undocking.
Ship is ready. Okay, now this is something quite... Actually, hold a second, that's the wrong ship. That is the wrong Celos.
Docking request accepted.
Let me quickly take a different Celos. This one is for a different purpose, and it's not completed for some reason. When I say not completed, for some reason my modules are all over the place, so let me go and take the second Celos. Now, why am I taking a Celos? Well, there is a bait Mahler that I suspect is part of a semi-larger fleet, and the Mahler is just like bait. So I'll be using something long range and something that is decently fast, but at the same time does have some cloaky attached to it, and this should maybe dual gyro would be the way, but I'll just go with this build
Undocking.
because I don't really trust a bait mauler because I don't have problems to break the tank of it. Problem is how many ships are waiting at the other end of the gate, because that's usually how things go. It wouldn't be the first time that was a bait mauler just waiting there. Okay, I'll warp at about 40 kilometers. That should I have about 100-kilometer range with my
Warp
artillery
drive
cannons. It does hit it at about maximum hit at 100 kilometers, so it should be good. And a mauler should not be faster than a Celos, so don't really think that they can do much. If it is a bait, we will find out very soon. Okay, there we go. That was a good warping, just at about the distance that I like to be. I also expect, since this is a bait, I expect a heavy tank, so don't be surprised when the damage just drops off. And yes, just as I thought, it is a afterburner
We're
chunk
under
mauler, and
attack.
by the looks of it, might be a large repairer or dual medium repairs. I don't know. I could have used an afterburner. The thing is, I don't really trust an afterburner when I'm engaging a obvious bait, because afterburner usually is not going to be fast enough to pull range. So now the good thing is a local is
We're
not
under
spiking.
attack.
At the same time, there's also a good chance that the local will spike when the mauler is in low armor. So I will go and take distance just in case a local spike happens. I have enough time to burn away. I still have range though, so not a big deal. The armor on the mallet doesn't seem to be holding that well. This is about the moment where I would expect to see the local spike up, or around this moment. We will see. Well, local is not spiking, so let me... Well, I was about to approach. And where did they go? I have apps to the station or to the stun. I have no idea. I'll just cloak, because I did not really see where they warped off. Oh well. Well, the local did not spike, so their element of surprise is still there. If I did go with the brawl, I could technically go with the brawl mauler, with the brawl cells, with 9,000 DPS, but good chance is when I do that, the like 15 ships will just spawn out of the gate. So it is good to take precaution, especially when you're flying a expensive ship like that. Now, next target, we have a Balgorn. Well, let's yeet the Balgorn, I guess.
Warp drive active.
I thought actually to use the mauler for the mauler, but at the same time, if it is a bait, which obviously it was, I definitely do not want to get jumped by 20 ships, so long range is still, you know, the way to go. I will have to build a long range cheap ship for stuff like that. Figured out that I don't have that at the moment. Okay, there is the Balgorn. Very nice warping. And let the party start. Barrage engaged. Ooh, that Balgorn took some damage. Ouch. Yeah, the Balgorn is no longer the tankiest battleship. You can make it tanky, it's still a good ship. But you need to know that the Balgorn obviously does have its limits. It's not what it used to be. That thing used to be very good. Used to be very fun to use as well. Still is fun, it's just that I just prefer the Macariel and other battleships over the
We're under
Balgorn.
attack.
I mean, if I want a tanky ship, then I have a better choice than the Balgorn. If I want more DPS, then at the same time I also have a better
Warp
choice.
drive active.
And 3.8 billion Balgorn kill, nice. A classic Balgorn build. Not too cursed. That target painter though is a little bit useless, to be honest, on a Balgorn. That target painter could have been replaced by another web or another Nosferatu or neutralizer. Much more useful than a target painter, but you know, for the most part, that build is not that bad. Well, let me align myself and let's wait out the criminal timer. It will be very fun when they add security standings in the game. I wonder if if they account for our past pirate activity, -10 from day one, and I'll be in trouble. So hopefully they don't really do that right away. Okay, next we have a apocalypse. Just one
Warp drive
little
active.
apocalypse. Let's yeet and let's see what happens. I mean, it's just an apocalypse. I don't think that apocalypse will be an apocalypse for a very long time. I think the apocalypse will be back to Yita very quickly. And there is the apocalypse. For a second I actually thought it would be a navy, but it's not. It's just a classic apocalypse. Okay. And full speed. That's one hit. That's second hit. Armor, hull, boom. There we go. Just as I said. You blink and you miss it. And that's a very nice little thumbnail, or main thumbnail picture. Have no idea what. I think the asmo will be the thumbnail because I just like the ship.
Warp drive active.
And now let's warp off. That was quick. Indeed, that was fast. You blink and you miss it. Well, that's what happens when you roll like 75,000 DPS in 2 ships. That's what happens to the ships that are on the receiving end of that. Let's take a look at the kill 1 billion and a cursed apocalypse. Beautiful.
Warp drive
Cannot
active.
make this up. A shield booster and armor repairer. Cannot make that up. Lovely. Well, that's still a decent catch, so I'm not going to complain. Let me align myself to the station and then we can go to the next target. So, in all the last videos I actually bought
Undocking.
the Logi frigates and I've been using them unironically, and I'm not even joking. These little things are fun. Now obviously I am not going to be using them against anything serious. Well, maybe I will actually, who knows. If I know that I can find a sniper battleship with no drones, with no stabs
Warp
as well,
drive active.
and if I can drop this thing on top of it, that battleship is doomed. I'm not even joking. So my goal is to find such a battleship and drop this thing on it and kill it. Will be funny when that happens. But I've had a lot of fun with the logistic frigates, primarily using them for smaller, very cheap ships. You know, when I'm playing for fun, literally. And these things are very good when you want to have fun. If you want to have a good laugh, a good giggle, and I definitely recommend that you go buy one of these little ships and fit them for PvP and just try to find a small ship and drop this thing on top of it. It's funny and it's fun. It doesn't have to be expensive to be fun, and so far I've had a blast with with those little things. They're ridiculously fun, and if I do lose it, if they do pop, I don't care. It costs like 5 million, so it's a ridiculously cheap little boat. And I actually did
Warp
buy
drive
this thing
active.
and build it to be good against some of the low tier destroyers. It can tank them. It repairs like 75% armor per cycle with 12 small armor repairs, which is kind of funny. But this little thing is built to be a tank, and this is the tanky logistic, the Inquisitor, literally the Inquisitor. I don't know if I mentioned
Warp
that
drive
before,
active.
but when I started with YouTube, my original first name was the Inquisitor, and when I take this little boat out I remember that every single time. That was like 5 years ago, by the way, on my first channel.
Docking
Funny
request
enough,
accepted.
my first channel is now, the email of the first channel is now basically like my work email, while the secondary channel, which is this one, is now the main one. It's kind of funny because all of the things have happened and I had to basically deal with that. But that's not a bad kill for a Inquisitor, for a logistic frigate. Let's go to the
Undocking.
next target. And yes, I'll be flying this thing a bit more as time goes on, as I mentioned before. Killing stuff with something that most players haven't even seen in the game is quite fun. And honestly, the
Warp
little
drive
Inquisitor
active.
here, this thing, is one of those ships that you haven't seen.
Warp drive active.
Like, this is very rare. This thing is very rare. And I like to fly weird and odd ships, especially for PvP. Next, we have a Algos. Algos is 50 kilometers away from me. Okay, let's burn to it. And they're running a tier 5 mission, which is kind of interesting. A Algos trainer running a tier 5 mission. Okay, that's
We're
new.
under attack.
Let's hope I don't get torn to shreds while I'm approaching the Algos. Okay, let's lock on. The Algos has a very good idea of how this should be done. Long range
under
kite
attack.
seems to work, but I'm getting close. I'm getting very close. Webbed. Let's orbit at 0. I mean webbed. Where is the web? Where is my web? I don't have webs. I have a Scrambler and a Nosferatu. Orbiting at 0. I can tank all of these ships, by the way. If I do take armor damage, I'm not really worried about that because I can tank that. After all, this is an armor tank ship and it's stupidly funny to fly. And I love it. Orbiting the wreck, let's get the pods.
We're under
Probably the
attack.
only Inquisitor in the game who has kill marks. And yeah, this thing actually does have kill marks that you can see. So yeah, that is really funny when you think about it. And let's
Warp
warp out.
drive active.
Does warp fast though. And I'm working on my destroyer and frigate skills. Tier 3 destroyers are kind of already on the way, so might as well prepare for them. My wallet is not going to be happy about the price on these ships, but you know, I'll buy them, I'll fly them. And I'll use them. I guess they're interesting ships. Well, not a bad build. Actually, the player did kind of know how to make this thing work, so not going to roast the build when the idea behind it is not bad. Next, let's go to the
Undocking.
next target. Going to use the Inquisitor 2 again. Well, Inquisitor or Inquisitor 2, it's the same thing. And we have the... No, it says Algos, it's not an Algos, it's actually a Catalyst, I believe. Catalyst 2, which is a little bit more serious target than
Warp drive
a Algos.
active.
A Catalyst can be... I mean, both can kind of be dangerous. After all, the stores are made to kill frigates, and this is a very cheap little frigate, a Catalyst 2. Okay, let's approach it. Afterburner is on, and let's see. I'll try to intercept them, going a bit forward.
We're under attack.
A bit to the left, a bit to the right. Try not to get burned alive by the mission ships orbiting. Seems like they're also using an afterburner, so I really need to get close to it. And this would work. There we go. Entering orbit. They look like an armor
We're
tank,
under attack.
but for a catalyst, a better idea is to have a medium armor repair or a dual small armor repair build. It's very similar to what I have on this thing. It works really well. That's why I recommend it. And the catalyst is now into hole, and the catalyst is now destroyed. Let's
We're
grab
under
the wreck
attack.
and pod if possible. Also have to keep on moving. If I don't move, I might get roasted by the mission ships. Well, I mean, I say roasted. It's not going to be roasted, obviously, but yeah, gotta be careful. And let's warp out.
Warp drive active.
It is funny how well this thing works for this type of combat. If you really want to just have fun, then these little ships are perfect for it. Doesn't even have to be Omega to fly them. It's like a tier 5, tier 6 ship. Or tier 4, I honestly forgot what tier this is. It's low tier. That's the thing. And well, that's the catalyst build there. Let's go to the next target. And this time I took the Navitas out because I also like the Navitas is, I think, the prettiest. It's the best looking. Well, I mean, I say best looking. I do like how
Warp
this
drive
thing looks. It has a lot of interesting moving parts. And at the same time, the Inquisitor is also a very nice looking little boat. And the Algos is back. Okay, now this time I'm going to be much faster because the Navitas is built like my usual ships are built, with a micro water reef, and it has a extender. Usually
We're under
a
attack.
damage control, but a extender also works just fine.
We're under attack.
And let's quickly eliminate the Algos. Approaching to 4 kilometers.
We're under attack.
And let's just use the gyro stabilizer for that little bit extra DPS. And there we go. Algos has been destroyed. Well, that was funny. Definitely, I will take small steps first, you know. Next time, if there is a little cruiser, I'll drop these frigates on cruisers because
Warp
that's
drive active.
just what I'm starting to really enjoy lately. But with that being said, that would be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this little funny video today. Definitely looking forward to use the asmo a lot more often. After all, it's one of my favorite ships, and kind of happy to see that thing back in my hangar. But with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. If you would like to support me, feel free to like and subscribe. And with that being said, stay safe, play safe, and as always, I'll see you next time.